but I'm really excited about the new shotgun shell. Tell me about that and tell me why I'm gonna be really excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely, and you really kind of hit the nail on the head. You know, our launcher line is definitely geared towards different areas where, you know, both consumers, civilians, law enforcement may find themselves, but we really wanted to give everybody a way to get into that less lethal space and utilize less lethal options with a platform that they probably already had. And in comes the 12-gauge shell. So our 12-gauge shell is meant to fit inside of any 12-gauge. It's a 2 3/4 inch shell, so it's really going to fit into any of those 100 million, you know, literal shotguns out in the U.S. to give people now a less lethal option to utilize with, like I said, a weapon that they probably already have.
So I really love that you have this new option that incorporates into shotguns I already own. Like you said, like the new launchers are great, right? They're fantastic. They do everything they're supposed to do and then some. But you know, there is some investment there. And you're telling me that I can just buy a round that does the same thing those launchers do, and I can do it into everything from, you know, my Mossberg shotgun to my high-end Benelli or what have you. Tell me about the accuracy, you know.
So that's one of the really the most exciting things about the 12 gauge is there's been 12 gauge less lethal that's been around for a long time, but unfortunately you were limited in range to somewhere around 5 to 10 feet to about 25 feet before it kind of lost enough energy. So here, we're actually in our 12 gauge rounds, because of the way they're designed, so they're saboed inside of that shell, and they have an annular fin design that actually rifles the round after it leaves the barrel. So we're getting that same standoff, 5/10 standoff, but we're getting 75 to 80 yards of 8-inch accuracy out of these rounds. So now you're not limited to that 25 feet. You can very well reach out and touch somebody, you know, utilizing a less lethal option.
If I have a red dot on my shotgun, it just makes it that much easier. Tell me about, you know, are there going to be different rounds? You know, you have different rounds for the launchers. What about the shotgun shell?
Absolutely. So one of the great things about what we're doing is being able to kind of cross-platform a lot of the projectiles. So every projectile that we offer now in the duty style will be offered in the 12 gauge. So everything from kinetic, so just a solid polymer ball on the end of that 12 gauge round, to our max compound, which is that OCCS blend, and then our pepper compound, which is that OC Pava blend.
So Josh, the design of the round is very fascinating. Tell me how you guys got to this design and what exactly happens when the round impacts the target.
Absolutely. So these rounds have been specifically designed by our engineering team at Byrna in order to increase both the efficiency of the ballistics of the round as well as the accuracy and then the terminal ballistics of it actually striking the target. So you can see it looks kind of like the same 68 caliber half shell at the top, but this entire body is actually filled with chemical agent. So we're able to actually fill almost twice the amount of chemical agent that you'd find in a normal 68 caliber round and put it into this 12 gauge round here. And then of course in the back here we have these annular fins that actually rifle the round as it comes out of the barrel. So after that sabot separates, the round starts spinning on its own, which is what provides us with that accuracy.
And to 75 yards, correct?
Absolutely. At 8 inches of accuracy, we're getting well beyond, you know, 75 yards. And then you also see that these consistent score patterns, so it's almost like your old you know, pineapple grenades that were meant to blow up in a very specific pattern. These are designed very similarly, so we get a very consistent spread of that chemical agent when it strikes a target.
So depending on the type of chemical agent, it's not, you know, it's going to impact and it's going to get everywhere.
Absolutely. You're going to get a very consistent 3 to 5 foot cone.
And what's going to happen to me? I'm an assailant. I've been struck with this round. What's going to happen to me exactly?
Yeah, absolutely. Depending on the chemical agent you're using, you're really going to start, you know, it's going to slam your eyes shut. Your eyes are going to water. All the mucosal exposure is going to inflame. So, you know, a lot of snot. It's going to be very difficult to see, very difficult to breathe, and just really do a good job of incapacitating you and taking the fight right out of you.
Stopping a threat quickly.
Absolutely.